Hello and welcome to Abfielder's completely average Minecraft series. This is episode 4. If you don't know what this series is about, then let me tell you. I aspire to play Minecraft as though I'm a hermit. I plan big, beautiful builds. Hell, I even start them sometimes. Then I get distracted and start something completely different instead, making a complete mess of everything. In short, I play Minecraft like the completely average person. Days 300 to 303, I took it fairly easy. I spent some time trying to get more jungle saplings than I was using, which is trickier than it sounds. The return rate on jungle saplings absolutely sucks. Then I did some villager trading, try and fill up those villager halls that we built in the last episode, and that was kind of it for the first few days. Days 303 to 309, I'm still having issues with FPS drops around the village and it was getting on my nerves. In the early days of this series, I lit a whole ton of fires to light stuff up as I didn't have much coal. I'm wondering if this is the cause, so I spent a whole bunch of time literally putting out fires. Then I did some more villager trading. We had a polite discussion about the prices they were charging me, and we agreed to some more reasonable deals. Days 309 to 311, I actually did something rarer than lighting up. I actually took the time to sort out a whole bunch of my chests from my early game storage. At some point, I really do need to create a dedicated storage area, but for now, my house will have to suffice. And I'm not going to lie, I felt good doing this. Days 311 to 317, I got annoyed. You see, Enderman griefing is getting on my nerves. This is not the first time I've had to remove sand blocks from my slime farm. Urgh. Actually, let's talk about data pack, shall we? At this moment in time, the world is completely vanilla. I am, however, feeling the need to add some changes to it. Firstly, anti-Enderman griefing. It's annoying in a normal world. In a desert biome, it's just insane. The second one, and more importantly, that I'm thinking about adding is an improved Wandering Trader pack. You see, I can't get bamboo and therefore scaffolding. I can't get snow blocks. So shulker farm's completely out the window. I can't get coral fans. Not the end of the world, there's replacements for that. But anyway, it's annoying. See, whatever idea you're thinking about to obtain those items, let me stop you there. You can't. So I did a poll on my YouTube, and unfortunately, I lost that poll. Though I know it was manipulated by a moderator in my Discord. He helps me admin the Abcraft servers, no less. Papa, you want a credit? Here you go. You won. Who needs enemies, right? I'm still considering that trader pack. I'm just intrigued. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, except you, Papa. Then for the rest of these days, I built melon and pumpkin farms. Completely screwed up the recording though, so here, have a picture of the pumpkin farm, and then I built a melon farm to the right. Exactly the same building, no difference whatsoever, but looks really cool. Nothing in there at the moment, but it will help with our villager trading. Days 327 to 331. Oh no, wait, I didn't completely screw the footage up. I just built the melon farm later than I remembered. If you are wondering what happened to days 318 to 327 though, that's okay. So am I. I think I probably just AFK'd because I needed villagers, but it was that long ago I can't actually remember, so that's my answer, and I'm sticking with it. Days 331 to 334, a wandering trader appeared. He sold me some stuff, though nothing exciting, and then he promptly disappeared. I did some villager transport in the second trading hall. I'm filling it up with clerics. They're really handy for redstone, dust, and glowstone. Days 338 to 341. We have more missing time. Nothing interesting happened. I was just transporting the clerics in. Then I got a little bit more creative. I built 2 new buildings. The first was an AFK fishing hut. I need fish so I can breed the cats for the creeper farm. So I built an old style AFK fishing hut since I don't care about the treasure drops. And then, for my second build, I built a greenhouse. I wanted to start up a bee breeding program. At some point, I'd like to start farming honey, so this is step 1. I'm pretty pleased with how these builds came out. If you aren't familiar with my build process, what I do is I drop into a creative world, I come up with a design, then I take a Litematica of it, check out my Litematica series, then I collect the resources for it, and I build it in my survival world. Days 343 to 347, we have yet more missing time. This time though, I spent it AFKing in my brand new fish farm. Then for the next few days, I transported the remaining clerics into position so at least one trading hall was fully populated. Next up is going to be the stonemasons, but they're going to be a little bit more tricky. You see, for their third trade, I want them to sell 2 items. They sell like the polished granite, the polished andesite, etc. So quite a few villagers are probably going to have to disappear because some of them will buy normal granite and stuff like that. And I don't want that. I don't want them to buy blocks. I want them to sell blocks. So yeah, I'm going to send a few of them to the farm, so to speak. Days 347 to 352, we're at the halfway point and it feels like it's starting to come together a little bit. I really need to give more air shots of what I've been up to. I keep forgetting to do that. Anyway, after I finished admiring the view, I spent some time adding a few more layers to the creep farm. Now it was a little bit easier to breed the cats. Days 354 to 358. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to have a large central avenue that links the 3 trading halls with a cool portal area that I'll build at some unspecified point in the future. Read into that what you will. Then off to the sides, I'll have clusters of buildings, as we've got with the crop farms, the fishing hut, etc. And at some point, I'm going to have to remove that original village, but that's a problem for another month. The second thing is that iron farm also looks out of place in the desert now. I built it out of what materials I had available at the time, so I'm in a desert and I don't have a single pyramid yet. So we're going to rectify that. Those 2 problems, 2 birds, 1 stone. We're going to cover the iron farm in a pyramid. Days 359 and 360, considering I actually didn't plan this build out at all. It's worked pretty well. For a starter, it's symmetrical. I didn't even count it out, which is awesome. And also, the blocks are high enough that when I get over the iron golem spawn platforms, I was a little bit concerned I was going to have iron golems spawn outside on top of my pyramid. That hasn't happened. As I get over those platforms, they're high enough. Perfect. Anyway, the last thing on this pyramid that I need to do is just create a nice simple entrance, and then we'll come back at a later point in time and sort out the farm itself, because at the moment they all die separately. It's a pain in the backside to go and collect all the iron and the flowers. Days 360 to 370. There was actually quite a gap in between the last clip and this one. Not that you would know it. But work was busy, I hit one of those creative voids, and well, I was finishing off my fitness challenge. This year, I got my butt into gear and decided to do Route 66 virtually. I've done it in real life in a car, but this time I decided to do cycling, walking and running. I set myself 12 months to do the 2,280 miles, and I did it in 10 months. That's an average of 7.5 miles a day. Some days it's been tough. I had my second bout of COVID during it, had all the usual things that life throws at you, but I still did it. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm aware though that this has nothing to do with days 360 to 370, but as I said, I'm proud and I wanted to share that with you all. For days 360 to 370 though, I decided for absolutely no reason at all to build another trading hall. This one is going to be for the librarians. I built it a bit away from the other one, try and make sure they're not all loaded up at once. And that's still despite the fact that I haven't finished those other ones. Anyway, don't ask. So I flattened a large area, started to build this thing up. I even did a little bit of landscaping, but that was mainly so crazy doesn't tell me off. And then I built this pretty cool structure. Not gonna lie though, it's gonna be a little while before I get around to doing the villagers, because I've still got to finish up the stonemasons. They're taking forever, and then I still have 6 villagers that I haven't even decided what they're gonna be in the other one. Then I can do the librarians. Having spent the last 10 days doing the librarian trading hall, that meant I had a few villagers in the breeder. So for the next 3 days, I used those villagers to see if I could turn them into stone masons. However, getting that 3rd trade right was proving, well, tricky. It's about 1 in 10 that has the trades that I want, so I'll leave it up to your imagination where those other 9 villagers go. Days 374 to 76. 376. You know what I mean. I promised we'd come back to the iron farm storage, and I wasn't lying for once. My apologies, this is the home of the average Minecrafter, and doing this feels wrong. I'll try to do worse next time. Anyway, at the moment, all 4 pods have a separate kill zone, and I want to make it 1 kill zone and then have the iron stored in a single place, and then have the flowers converted into bone meal as well. Basically just saw all that stuff I've been doing manually. Now the good news is that because I already dropped the iron golems out of the villager detection range, it really doesn't matter how quickly I kill them. So I can just use water streams to push the iron golems downwards and into a center place with 1 lava kill zone, and then take that iron and use water streams to push it up into a central place. All sounds pretty easy. right? Although water streams, they're a little bit of a pain, aren't they? Days 376 to 379 were all about finishing off that iron farm collection. I created a little storage area that could be accessed from inside the pyramid, although since I didn't plan the pyramid, there wasn't anywhere to put the storage. So now you go in the pyramid, there's a little drop chute that you can go down to a tiny little storage area. I built some item filters so we could filter the flowers and the iron, and I even put some overflow as well. As we say in the Midland, job's a good 'un. That means it works perfectly. Days 379 to 381. I mentioned I wanted paths running off the central avenue into the building clusters, and so I decided to take a crack at them using a mixture of kind of the basic stone blocks and a little bit of basalt as well. And after 2 days, that's approximately 40 minutes work. I think it's 20 minutes per day. I decided I hated what I did. So I'm going to leave them for now. I'm firstly going to see if they grow on me. Sometimes that happens, or if I have a bright idea, I can change them. If not, then, well, maybe I'll just have to do something else. Days 381 to 383. After that bitter disappointment, I decided to go and work on something else. In the last clip, you may have noticed that both the villager breeder and the wheat farm that we did earlier in this series look a bit, well, rubbish. They look like the iron farm did, and they were built with the blocks that I had available at the time. So the first thing to do is the breeder. It's time to put a skin on it, and this is what I came up with. It looks far better than it did before, don't you agree? Days 383 to 385, and then the next up is the wheat farm. And since I set up both replay mod and OBS to record and then forgot to unpause the pair of them, have a good look at the finished structure. Looks nice, doesn't it? It's certainly an improvement on what was there before and blends in with the rest of the structures we built in this series so far. Days 385 to 390. Up next is crop storage. If you remember, we have a carrot and potato farm and then individual storage directly underneath those farms themselves. They're in a little bit of a tricky place though for when I actually do get around to doing paths that I like. And what I've decided here is that I'd like a storage building for those two crops separately. There's a nice area on the banks of the river, sort of off to the side of where the triple villager trading halls are, and it'll fit a circular building quite nicely. So off I went into my creative world, and then I came up with a storage building that weirdly looks like an observatory. Still, I'm pleased with it, and when I get round to building a bridge across the river, that'll look quite good, I think. Days 390 to 394. With the storage building complete, I had to hook up the farms to the storage. I don't have a lot of ice, so for water streams, I'm just dropping it down every few blocks so that I don't have to worry about items getting stuck. So with carrots and potatoes getting into that storage building, that's the farm stuff pretty much done. I can block up the stuff underneath as well. Days 394 to 400. We're nearly at the end. Those paths sucked. They didn't grow on me. I didn't like them, so it's time to remove them. Once removed, I decided to replace them with a more neutral palette. I said palette, I even know what that means. Of basically sandstone and oak, and plus where we have kind of, stairs, I'll put a bit of spruce in there as well. Then I'm going to line them with oak fence. I think it looks a lot better than it did before. What do you guys think? Plus, I even took the time to build a custom tree, put a couple of flowers in. Go me, check this out. I think this is a decent template, and I'm going to continue to do this and try and bring the area together in future episodes. Then I did a little bit more villager transport, and I made a mistake. If you're not sure what I did here, the workstation, if you don't break that before sending them on their way and they lose sight of it, they never lose their connection, and I'm doing air quotes there, to that workstation. Even if you break it, they never know it's gone. So normally what I do here is just kill the villager. I'm not going to lie to you, I'd kill them. But given how long it's taken to get the right trades, like I said, it's about 1 in 10 villagers that work, have the trades that I want. I had to build a rail circuit that took him from his slot in the trading hall all the way back to the villager breeder, the training room. And then once he realized his workstation had gone, take him back to the trading hall. Thankfully, that worked. Anyway, that's day 400. We've got a lot done in this episode. I'd like to take a moment just to thank my patrons. They help run the servers. They help with the server cost. And it's absolutely fantastic of them. Their names are running along the bottom of the screen right now. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more episodes from this series and other Minecraft videos as well. I'm Appfielder. Goodbye.